What's up, podcasters? Here we are, episode 4, The Wise Man Once Said podcast. We've got the staples in the room with us here.
Colt Skinner.
Gary Skinner.
And I guess I'm back.
Chase Kaufman, back again. No llama stories. His one and only llama story expensed last week. We appreciate all you people listening, hanging out with us. Really enjoying this thing. Chase has got an interesting addition today. Got a nice little, I don't know, is that corn cob? Is that oak, pine?
Let's call it like Kokobo.
Mahogany.
Hold on, what was that? Back up?
Kokobo?
Kokoboa?
I think that's a type of wood.
He's
It's
just
supposed to
making
be
it
real
up.
fancy.
Kokoboa?
Yeah,
That sounds like a chocolate snake.
I think it's about a $4
Sounds
pop.
like something from Starbucks.
I need a skinny Kokoboa. Soy milk.
Vente.
No.
So, what's been going on? Anybody got any good news? No good news. No nothing.
good
Huh?
news.
We've been working, man.
Nobody lost any dogs.
No.
Easy.
We'll kick this thing off with some news headlines here. We're gonna skip this original Trump. Trump did sign an executive order this past week to help HBCUs, which is Gary.
Historically black colleges and universities.
That's right. That's right. All the people that
I-
hated him, all of a
Well,
sudden they're like,
I thought Trump was a racist.
well, he was.
Oh, okay.
He was. I don't know how that works. I don't know if he can just turn it on and off. Just be like, no Mexicans, no Muslims. We're gonna make these people smarter.
Maybe that's his goal.
So the real Trump headline we've got to drop on you this week is Washington Post reports front page news. Okay, front page news. They're outraged. He ate a $54 steak, and he ate it well done, and he ate it with ketchup.
Extra.
Well,
Would you have still voted for him if you knew he ate a steak that way?
I think he's
You
just
know-
flexing his muscles.
You think so?
He's like,
Bring me the ketchup and take a picture.
you see what I can do to this
what's-
steak?
what's
Imagine what I'll do to you.
What's a $54 steak to a guy that's worth like $5 billion?
$7 billion. I
$7
believe,
billion.
yes.
So
How many
what's-
of us have ate a fit? I mean, I've eaten probably a mid-40s steak
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, well, sure. So see, everyone sitting in this room,
You can say poor. That's fine.
Okay. And we've all experienced, a $40, $50 steak.
You bet.
And we were like, oh yeah, we've made it, right?
That's right.
Sure.
So
I've had one. Yeah, no, that's
So-
not something I regularly
So what's
do.
a $50 steak to Trump? That
It's like SpaghettiOs to me.
it's like something out of the frozen food section.
Yeah.
And we put ketchup on everything that comes out
You
of the
know-
frozen food section.
I saw a meme about this the other day, about him spending taxpayer. When you're the president, that's what you do. As you operate, you're going to spend taxpayer money.
That's the money. That if you're spending money, that's the money. Because you're not generating any money as the
Well,
president. The only money
if-
you have.
If he had been eating ramen noodles, then they would say that the country's in danger because of his malnutrition brain.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's he's packing himself full of salt. Just
and carbohydrates.
The White
know
House
that-
toilets are 100 years old. They can't handle curly poop.
You know that chef was pissed when he's like, hey, everybody, the president's coming in. He wants your steak. And he's like, all right. How's he want it? He wants it well done.
He's back. He
With
picked
the-
out his best cut of meat. You know he did.
Yeah. And he's massaging it all out. He's like, he's doing the little seasonings off the elbow and all that. And then he's like, and I need a big bottle of Heinz right next to it.
You think that was an afterthought? As he said, first he got depressed when they said, first initial thought, Trump wants my steak. Ooh,
Boom,
I
on a new
made it.
level.
I made it.
Well, maybe Trump knew something about this guy. Maybe this guy voted for Hillary.
Ooh, you think he was in there to insult him? Just
Who knows?
Just to eat
because
his
you
well-done
can't
steak
say
in
I'm
front
not cooking the president's steak. You can't just be like nope. Take him that hamburger over there that the kid left.
Maybe it was psychological warfare.
That's funny. Yeah, because it was just a huge letdown. We said, how does he want it cooked? Medium well.
Yeah.
No, burn it.
Well,
Get it all the way. Cook it until it's well done, and then cook it for 10
and
more
then
minutes.
Kill it with fire.
And then as the order is walking out, she leans back in. She goes, "Oh, Don't forget his side of ketchup.
He didn't order fries. I know.
So I think he's doing a pretty good job because I can promise you guys, I would be dangerous in his situation.
Yes.
You give me his income and his power. You think ketchup on a steak's bad, baby?
Washington Post would have some news to report.
Oh man, we'd be laying down llamas left and right.
I don't know if we can talk about that. The last llama that laid down, we know what happened to him.
He'd be letting all the llamas loose on our enemies. Go get them, boys.
Bombs? No. Sell the bombs. Buy all the llamas. Just send the llamas. I couldn't have that job either.
Feed them Viagra and let them go.
I'm too much. I have a little too much curiosity because I'd be sitting right next to that button, and I'd just be like, I just wonder where it's pointed, and just slap that thing, just see where it ends up. Whoops, Putin. I'm sorry, dude. I sneezed and dropped an elbow on the button.
Wouldn't you just want to like find a small vacant island in the middle of the Pacific and let's just get rid of that?
It's just got a couple of wild
Fill it
goats
full
on
of
it.
llamas.
They did that.
They did that. Okay.
Yes.
So you,
Enlighten me.
Korea does it all the time.
Well, no, there is an island off the coast of Maui that it belongs to the Navy. It's just for the target practice. Is all it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's awesome. And it's still standing.
It looks like shit now.
Kind of reminds you of the moon, you know.
Like just dead goat and wild goat and chicken carcasses everywhere.
Scorched earth.
Just nuclear.
It
Dead
was
llamas everywhere.
Just llamas thrive.
It
in
was
that,
full of vegetation. Now it looks like Donald Trump's steak. Just
I can't even deal with that comment right now. That was
Well,
great.
and there was also the Bikini Atoll in the South Pacific that they
Let's
used
talk
for
a little more
nuclear
about that.
testing.
Let's talk a little bit more about
The
that. One more
bikini,
time.
what? All I heard was bikini.
Bikini Atoll.
That's where SpongeBob lives.
Like you wear no bikini at all. Come on. All
right, that was good. That was good. No, that's where they conducted
bad
all the
joke out of the way.
nuclear tests after World War II. And the stuff was radioactive. Some of it's still radioactive down
Wait,
there.
so
You
there's
take
no
a Geiger
bikinis
counter
involved?
It's like, nah, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
Move along.
You're fine. You're fine. You mean that arm wasn't there when we got here?
Well, there's actually a tourist spot but you can only stay there like 15 minutes before you start to get too much radiation.
Oh, that's
Like your
nice.
ear just starts to droop off the side of your head. Just That's funny. No, I didn't. So there's no bikinis involved in the bikini atoll.
No, I really don't know why it's called that, but that's what it's called.
That's a major letdown.
It's a
Yeah. Yeah.
when there's a functional difference in atom bomb versus a hydrogen bomb, and that's where they actually blew the first hydrogen bombs up.
So I had this thought just now. This was not preconceived whatsoever. But I've got this theory. Okay, just a theory. Once again,
Tear 'em out.
I don't read. I don't own a laboratory. I don't do any research.
When you're this smart, you don't need to read.
But it's because I can't read. So I think one of the major problems we're up against here on Mother Earth is severe overpopulation. Anybody have any opposition to that? I think
I think
see
that's
that.
a fairly
Well, that's fairly
reasonable.
accurate
Yeah.
because there's some number out there where you hit the fatal number.
people
right?
versus resources.
Yes.
Kind of.
Yes.
Okay. So here we are at the Bikini Atoll. All right. Why couldn't we just send some of these people send everybody in the world 2 tickets to the Bikini Atoll?
Well, how big is this place?
It doesn't matter.
Can't be that big.
Only the idiots are going. Okay. So anybody that has a friend like Gary or has read anything ever, be like, nope, not going. But you give, like they give you, they send
Come
you,
on down to
Like,
the Bikini
yes,
Atoll.
Carnival
for your
Cruise-
vacation of a lifetime.
Carnival Cruise Line sends you 2 tickets in the mail and be like, honey, we're going on vacation to the Bikini Atoll. And
So
as soon
it's
as
like the call you get on your cell phone where you just hear the ship
Yeah, wah. That's correct.
Congratulations,
Yeah.
you, Chase Kaufman, have won.
I'm Grims. Kyle Grims.
It's okay, so you're gonna get a phone call with a ship tooting in the background, and you're going to the
You
Bikini
and
Atoll.
your family just want a free, all expense paid trip to the Bikini Atoll.
How lucky.
And so
Here we go.
we start shipping, cruise ships full of these people, 2,000-3,000 at a time, down to the Bikini Atoll. Unload them. Lanes just start opening up on the freeway. All of a sudden, Mickey D's line's a little shorter for your biscuit.
I think there would be nobody to make your biscuit.
Well,
Kyle.
it's the moral argument of who makes the decision, right? Of course, this is kind of choice, right? What you're offering up is a
Perhaps,
Faustian
It is
bargain.
it's an irrational, ethically.
It sounds like Kyle's trying to play God.
It's an ethically awful thought.
Very expensive
But I'm
to
just
pay for a cruise ship for all these people
So-
just to blow them up.
So here's what made me. So all these thoughts rolling around in my head. I went to Whataburger last night for dinner. Okay, we were in Decatur at Lowe's, bought a whole bunch of stuff. It was like 6:30. Time
Get
to
a
eat.
Royale with cheese.
So Whataburger at dinner time is just slammed. Okay, drive-through is packed. So we're sitting in this drive-through line, and I'm behind a whole line of cars, and there is some kind of mom car SUV sitting in the actual order spot, and I'm 2 cars behind them. And so I'm looking, paying attention. I realize that I've been there about 7-8 minutes, and I said, surely this. And I see all the cars disappear from in front of this mom car. Okay, everybody's gone. And she's looking down at her phone, just scrolling away. Already ordered, just not paying any attention whatsoever to what's going on in front of her car. We sat there another 7-8 minutes.
So it's time for her to go.
I just feel like, wah.
Need that train horn.
You just won 2 tickets to the
Yeah.
Bikini Atoll.
Be like, ma'am, I just had to. I just seen you parked here like a moron. Do you know about the Bikini Atoll?
I didn't want to. I didn't want to lay on the horn. I didn't want to do anything. I was.
Oh, don't get in front of me and park whenever I'm
Yeah.
hungry because that's the first thing I'm going to do. If you
Roll
sit
the
there
window
for
down.
More than 5
Lay
seconds.
on the horn. Hey!
Chase, do you concur with this? I'm the kind of guy that just sits and waits and gets mad silently.
I'm pretty
Goes
impatient.
home, takes it out on
Are
his
you?
family.
I'm pretty impatient.
And y'all drive
yeah.
big trucks. So y'all just kind of move the line ahead.
Right.
It
But-
wouldn't
They
work.
can hear us behind them. They
Right.
know.
If I'm in a
I drive a
4-cylinder.
truck that I have to turn off when I get to the drive-through.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. The sign that says "Please turn the engine off" is
Right.
referring to you guys.
Yeah.
And also me, because mine goes pow, pow. And so it's not that it's loud and
I had a
awesome.
Volkswagen one time.
I seem to recall that story.
I actually I got a short drive-through story. So we're in Austin one time, and get down
that is
there.
a short drive through.
Yeah, the in-laws live in Austin, and I do not make it a habit of going down there. But so we're down there. We get there.
Shout out in-laws if you're
It's a
listening.
real
Yeah,
liberal
right.
town, right?
Yeah, not a big fan of Austin. So we get there. We're hungry. Been on the road most of the morning driving. So we get there. It's about lunchtime. Let's go get something to eat. So the father-in-law, he's like, all right, well, come down here. We'll go. There's a couple of good places to eat. Well, that happened to be Whataburger. It's like
He
we
wasn't
coulda-
wrong.
We could have got this in Decatur. I thought we were going to go somewhere decent.
Do something
Yeah.
unique to the
Hold on,
area,
back
at
up a
least,
second.
right?
Whataburger's not decent.
I traveled 4 hours. Give me something besides a Whataburger. But
He's like that
It's-
son-in-law that never
it's not
comes in
that it's
season.
bad. It's ubiquitous.
I got dinner plans for him.
Okay, I'm with you.
so, I'm being considerate. So whenever I pull into a drive-through, I always stay back a little bit from the car in front of me so that they can place an order over the clattering. They don't.
Right.
So I'm backed up, just waiting on them to order, being considerate, or what I thought was considerate. So the next thing I know, I hear squealing tires, reverse, more squealing tires going the opposite direction, and then all I see is a middle finger of someone who is extremely pissed that I am blocking a little bit of the lane, trying to let this car in front of me place their order.
Uh-huh.
So she literally drives full circle all the way around the pickup with the finger flying the whole time.
Tokyo
Like, all-
drifting it.
all the way around. I mean, I can't paint this picture as I saw it, but you guys, it was... yeah, exactly. It's just squealing tires and middle finger, baby.
From a Prius.
Tokyo Drift in Austin, right?
And you know, they're supposed to be like borderline hippie and love everybody, but apparently they get super pissed when you block. Exactly. Yeah.
That's funny. I've never.
So there's a Whataburger drive-through middle finger story for you.
That's. I've always wanted to hear one. Not that I don't have a collection of them. Counting yesterday in my account up here, and one of these days all those are going to pile up, and I'm going to be that person that just absolutely snaps. Because I always like to think about those people, like, and you see them on TV all the time, news, whatever, but you know that this wasn't the first incident.
Oh no!
You know, like this, her day, or his day, whoever, was it a lady?
This was a woman, yes.
Okay, so you know.
Or it was a guy transitioning to
Yeah.
be a woman.
We
or
were in
something.
Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were in
Okay.
Austin.
Yep, that's a fair point. Fair
Or
point.
it could have been a woman transitioning to a man, just not quite started yet. Or
We'll just say
something
they.
like that. They.
They.
There you go. They.
Is that the preferred pronoun?
Or
I think-
Pat, right?
Pat, Terry, yeah, any of them. Shout out to any Pats and Terrys listening. But yeah, I feel like I always try to dream up their own backstory. Like, you know, they get the coffee in the morning, go to take the first sip, and the mug breaks, and it's just hot coffee everywhere.
Oh, darn, not again.
Get the kid in the car seat, and it just craps its pants.
Not again.
You know, you're sitting in the drop-off line at school, and some kid kicks a soccer ball into your minivan. You know, and all this stuff just keeps going through the day, and then finally here's Chase at the Whataburger drive-thru, and she just blows a gasket.
I'm going to show this redneck what for.
We'll do it live! And there she goes. I don't know, my brain works that way. I always just try to dream up this big backstory. And my dreams are bananas anyway. Most of them aren't suitable for podcast radio.
You fill in all information gaps with some type of meaning.
That's right. Well, it's, you know, I'm kind of a movie fanatic, and so I tie everything back into
Movie
like,
quotes.
It's a screenplay. You know, the whole thing happens. I can hear the music. I can see the setting.
Well, it's life, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Life.
Life is a movie,
Yeah.
Chase. Light that pipe up again. I feel like you need some soft slippers and a flannel robe. Be like, let me tell you a little bit about life, son.
And just to clarify, this has got tobacco in it. So,
That's a fact. That's verifiable by 3 sources in here. We do have rules on the podcast.
okay.
So I'll tell you, speaking of dreams, I have one kind of crazy dream story. So I had knee surgery back in 2012. Had a patellar tendon replaced. I don't know. Y'all
Gotta
probably
stay
know.
off them knees, Kyle.
Yeah, I know. That's what I've been doing I've lived by that ever since. And so he gave me, like, you know, pain medication, which I was not unfamiliar with at the time. And then he gave me some Ambien. He said, your days and nights are going to get mixed up because you're just going to be sitting around waiting on this thing
Now,
to
isn't
heal.
Ambien an antidepressant type?
And
No, it's
Ambien
a
is
sleep aid.
Yeah, sleep aid.
Yes.
Like hardcore sleep aid.
Like highly addictive sleep aid, I believe.
Yeah.
Like a Halcyon type of. Okay.
And so I want y'all to preface this with everything I just told you about this lady at Whataburger. To a normal person, it's just a lady snapping at Whataburger. And to me, it's this huge production, this story that I put together in my mind. Okay?
She needed her Ambien.
Same brain. Okay. Same brain took this Ambien that night. Okay. And so I'm laying there in bed, And this was the third night I was home, and I had, just like the doctor had said, I'd got my days and nights mixed up. And so I said, I'm going to pop an Ambien, and I'm fixing to go knock out. And so we curl up in bed, probably 10:30, 11 o'clock. At 1:18 a.m., I jump out of bed, not jump out of bed, because I'm obviously wrapped up in stuff, but I sit up, and I am just pouring sweat. And I wake Becky up. I said, Becky, I can't take any more Ambien. So the dream I'd had is that I was running through post-apocalyptic desert.
And there were
Okay.
no Whataburgers.
I thought you were going to say cornfield backwards.
Well, recreational stuff. All right, recreational stuff. And I was getting chased by these like zombie-like things that were trying to eat me. Okay, just to paint the picture, the whole thing's like red, like Red Dawn,
Blood.
kind of like
Dawn of
just,
the Dead.
yeah. Except all the sand is red, sun's blood red, everything's red. So anyway, I'm running away from these zombie things, and I get to this.
So you dream in color?
I do all the time, and so they say geniuses dream in color. So y'all take notes.
What if I'm colorblind?
Well, geniuses.
You can't be a genius then. I
Geniuses
guess.
are not colorblind typically. Dogs are colorblind. From gray, is that? I'm pretty sure that's.
I think all mammals are actually, except for some birds.
Yeah,
Most animals can't.
Don't-
Last time I checked, birds weren't mammals.
Don't-
Well, no.
Don't Google that. Don't Google
as
it. We
far
don't-
as pigs and coyotes are concerned, they don't seem to see red or green. I know that.
and they don't hear fast enough to get away from the. So anyway, back to this story. I'm running, okay, and I'm running. I don't know how far I run, over a couple of dunes, and I come across this big crater, like old school movie crater, perfectly rounded, and kind of sharp on the edges, like moon crater. And there is a gas tanker truck sitting in there, like on the side of this crater. And so I run up, look back, all the zombies are coming. I say, oh no, and I open the door to this truck, and there is a Mexican gentleman in there, speaking no English. And I said,
Andale!
I said, I need a new truck. And he said, no. And so I looked down, and his ankle is chained to the seat, like the actual
Oh, he was bait.
part of the. Oh, maybe.
Is there a llama in there?
Ooh. No llamas. No llamas.
Maybe
And
it's
so-
really a rape shack.
Maybe he was trying to. Yeah. No, get in the other seat, big boy.
Did the truck have a sleeper?
Ooh. I'm trying to
This
dial
is
that
probably a cab over, I'm guessing.
up. Anyway. Y'all get out of my dreams. So anyway, the
Can
end
you
of
imagine what he's going to dream tonight?
right before I wake up in these cold sweats, the last thing I remember is me chewing this guy's leg off to get him out of the truck with my mouth, chewing him. And I woke up and I've never taken Ambien since.
I probably wouldn't take it either.
Wow.
Yeah, y'all thought it was going to be a funny story.
I
It's
hear it
not.
gets trippy if you take it and then you fight the
What
sleep.
what brand of truck was it?
It was a white one.
Was it a llama or
Oh no, he wasn't wearing Tony Llama boots.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where you're going with all this, but no, I was a white one with a silver tanker on it, and I chewed his foot off to survive.
Jeez. NyQuil does the same thing to me.
Does it really?
Oh, yeah, I can't take NyQuil.
Oh, that's my jam. NyQuil, yes sir.
Yeah, NyQuil, I'd trip out.
I get a little, I get a little, and I go get me a mouthful of it.
I only vaguely remember like half a dozen dreams my whole life.
Really?
I don't have any recollection of much of anything in the morning.
I have one every night, and I remember them vividly.
Really?
Oh yes. Yep. I usually share them on Facebook, or I used to every day.
Oh,
I'd share.
I've read some of your
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Some of your best works I've read. Yeah.
Well, now
I
there
just
is
don't have time anymore. I wish I could still write them down, but
there
I don't
is
have time
some
anymore.
value in those things. Now, if I understand it correctly, the periodic table came to a guy in a dream.
Really,
Yes, and
the song "Sound of Silence" that came to Paul Simon and Garfunkel
um,
Yeah.
came to him in a dream.
really,
Yep.
Hmm.
there was another song. from a composer called The Devil's Trill. It was a violin piece, and it was a really good one. But in the dream, the devil came and played it for this guy, and he wrote it down when he woke up.
What?
Wow. Well, I know in sociology in college,
Nerd.
it's actually a really interesting class, but we learned about Freud and
Sigmund Freud.
yeah, I guess. Anyway,
Yes.
So
yes,
so
that's
he
Freud.
wasn't just super paying attention.
But it was pretty cool.
He looked over his buddy and said, "This dude's name's Freud."
What a tool.
You mean to tell me the smartest guy on here, his name is Freud? Is that what you're trying to get at here? Why can't any Steves make this stuff, huh? Why can't any Steves do this?
he probably wasn't American, so
Well,
America probably wasn't even around back then.
Chase.
So-
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know. It wasn't history. It was sociology, okay?
And sociology might be a big problem. We can circle back around to this population control. I think sociology might be a whole lot of the genesis for why I feel that way.
Probably so, but
There's a lot of people pooping on mailbox at protests.
So apparently that's the dream is part of it was like the id, the ego, and the superego, like the three parts of your personality. The id, the ego, and the superego.
Can you discuss the id any further?
Man, you're the one sitting in front of a computer. It's called Google.
Google it.
So
Freud, what's the id?
But it's the way Freud explained dreams, it was your innermost thoughts and desires being portrayed in your mind. Which
So you want some zombies and to be chewing on a Hispanic man's ankle?
That's a theory, though. I mean, it could be a lot of things, or it could be a variety of
I
things,
think
right?
it's total crap, but I'm just saying if that's really what's going on, can you guys imagine what Kyle's innermost thoughts and what Kyle's innermost thoughts and desires are?
That's why I sit on this side of the table, way over here.
Chewing a leg off. Yeah. I think he's been watching too many zombie flicks.
To catch up on a steak ain't nothing for this guy sitting across from me.
The id is a part of the personality structure that includes a human's basic needs,
Okay, there you
instinctual drives such as sex, hunger, aggressiveness. It is based on pleasure principle to avoid pain or displeasure and to obtain pleasure. So
The id is the animal level person.
yes, it is caveman.
Yes.
Caveman level.
Yes.
Fight or flight.
Eat.
Yep. Interesting.
So
Sigmund
I
Freud.
did
Okay, and then
retain-
there's the
I
ego
retained-
and
I-
the superego.
ego and the superego.
We know the ego is the self-centered part
is-
of the universe. What is the superego?
Kanye West.
The ego. Hold on. Let me slide over one more slide. Yeah, it's just a picture of Kanye right here. Super ego. Oh, Jesus. The ego itself is a component of personality that is responsible for dealing with reality that attempts to mediate between the id and the superego.
Okay, and that's your making meaning out of everything.
So are you
Right.
saying I have an ego issue?
Well, I mean, you try to identify with these people that flip you off or whatever in the drive-through
Yeah.
by trying to imagine what their day has been like for them to arrive at that point where they're flipping you off in the drive-through.
Yeah.
So you're assembling meaning out of that, and that's I mean that's what we're.
I just say, what an asshole.
And it
Let's
has
talk-
no meaning, right?
Let's talk about that.
Two birds.
Let's scroll to the superego now. Superego is a moral part of the personality that includes the values, social rules, and morals of society.
So what you're saying is that most people don't have that anymore?
I think you're right. Superego's function is to control the id's impulses, such as social prohibitions, taboos, sex, and aggression. It's what keeps you from raping people. You go, I probably shouldn't.
But it's taboo, so I'll think
Could
about
be
it.
a bad idea.
That's your superego doing that.
So there you go. So I retained some of
You
that.
did. To a
Llamas-
very id extent. You did.
Llamas lack the super ego.
Here, all this time, I was thinking about it from ethos, pathos, and logos viewpoint. But
I just dropped all that. That's interesting. I did not take sociology in college. I took psychology.
I pretty much only remember a couple of things from that, from college in general. That and the longest word in the English language, excluding medical terminology.
Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Yeah, that's it.
I have no idea what it means. I just know that's what it is.
It means for the ruling group.
For the ruling group.
I seen it on the back of a Snapple lid once.
That's an extremely short definition for a really long word.
That was it. We had to memorize that, the spelling and the meaning.
That's funny. College didn't have the effect on me that I feel like colleges have today on people.
you mean you didn't come out
Brainwashing
wanting
you?
to
I guess that's exactly what I'm
rectify the world with social justice?
No, maybe I just didn't.
I look at it all as the same kind of thing. It's not in its entirety. It's not what you learn there. It's the activity of accomplishing or figuring things out. That's what.
It
Well,
was all
sure.
about beer and chicks.
Yep, I think that's
That-
where maybe that's why because I
He's got his master's. I'd listen to him.
got that degree in B and C. That's funny. No, I guess maybe I didn't get super involved in.
Social justice.
I don't even know if that was a word. I'd never heard that word until the last probably 18 months.
It's
That kind of reminds me of something. There was the Decatur Chamber of Commerce meeting,
Mm-hmm.
and my boss and outside salesmen, they go to it whenever they have it just to kind of mingle. And there was a guy, they brought back some flyers, but he wrote a book, and apparently he thinks that there are communists that try and subliminally add words into our vocabulary to kind of subconsciously mess with American society. And some
What?
of these words were social justice,
Hashtag.
Black Lives Matter.
Tweeter.
Some of them were really simple, like assault rifle or all kind. He had a big list. Yeah, one of those. I wish I'd have brought the list, but he had just all these words that, they're kind of, newer, like Black Lives Matter.
They have meaningless meanings.
Well, it's just like it's like something that probably wasn't in the dictionary like 15 years ago, but now it's in most every conversation.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah,
it,
like I said, hashtag. It was a friggin' pound sign for like how many years?
Yeah, I never understood that.
Hashtag?
For a long time, when I heard that, I was like, "What is a hashtag?"
please enter the last four of your social followed by the pound key.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've had young people ask me where the pound key was, and you just have to go. It's the hashtag.
At what point are they going to start saying, after you enter that last number, followed by the hashtag?
Yeah. Go on, hit that hashtag.
Jeez.
That's funny. No, there was a TV show, and it may still be on. I think it was called The Americans, and it was based around kind of that same.
Oh, it had Felicity in it.
Who?
Yeah.
Who's Felicity?
There's the chick in it.
Jones?
Right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think Felicity's the name of the chick I buy snuff from at Chico Mart.
Could be.
What?
Okay.
Anyway, carry on, sir.
Yeah, there's a TV show. I think it's called The Americans. It sounds like you might
Okay,
know what I'm
those
talking
were
about.
communist spies in
Yeah,
the Cold War,
And
and
so
they
who
living in the United States.
and they triggered them with some kind of
Oh, some kind of word?
and they started just offing people, just whooshing.
Yeah,
so
that's
Who
crazy.
was the main
Okay.
character in that?
The chick from
Yeah, that's the chick. There was like some show way back when called Felicity. That was her.
I don't guess I've
It
ever
was
seen
like a high school, like teeny.
like a teen show.
Yeah.
Somebody listened to it screaming at their radio like, "You Jack Wagon!"
It is Felicity. It is.
Well, that stuff was based on what they call brainwashing, which is actually something that the Soviets developed called psychopolitics. And it's a brain conditioning system of punishment and reward, and you can program people to go off on a single word like that. You know, they might live for 20 years and
A word
having
like-
a normal.
like feminism. Yeah, that's it. That's
So, there you
hopefully.
go.
What's her name? What's that lady's name?
I don't know. Apparently, it only made it 4 seasons, so it wasn't all that
Hey,
impressive.
4 seasons is a good run.
Yeah, these days it is.
Carrie Russell.
Carrie Russell. For all you people listening, yelling at us because we don't know who that is, Carrie Russell.
There you go.
Speaking of TV, Bill Paxton kicked it at the age of 61. Surgery.
R.I.P. Pour one out.
Surgery compilations. Complications. What am I talking about?
It's a complicated matter.
It is a compilation of complications. Only Bill Paxton I know of is Twister.
Titanic.
Bill Paxton's in
He
Titanic?
was in the spaceship movie Apollo.
The Hatfields and McCoys.
Yeah.
Yes, he was. He
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, he was the.
Hatfield.
I hated him in that.
Oh, what's his name? Hatfield. What's his first name? I know old Ants.
Devil Ants.
Devil Ants.
Yeah. Well, Devil Ants was Hatfield, right? The other one was McCoy, right? Well, I got them backwards.
Nope, you're right.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
think.
he was
That
the
was a
captain
great
of
show.
the
What
He's
a doll.
full-blown
explorer
psycho,
ship.
man.
He was the captain of the explorer ship on Titanic, the one that found the Titanic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he
Okay.
held the actual blue diamond.
the heart of the ocean. Yeah.
Yeah, at the near the end of the
I do
movie.
remember
Yeah.
that now.
Okay.
What was
Oh,
the other
yeah.
one you said?
He's in Training Day. Apollo
Weird
13,
science.
Aliens.
He was in Apollo 13.
Oh, yeah, he was in Alien, too. Yeah. Remember that.
Man,
Like,
why
the
did I not remember any of
original.
these
Oh,
movies? When they said, "Hey, Bill Paxton died," I was like, "Man, I kind of want to watch Twister now."
Oh, he was in
mostly
Tombstone, right?
Yes, he was the young brother.
Yeah. But nobody
Yeah.
remembers anything other than Doc Holliday in that, so.
Right. And Wyatt Earp. You tell him I'm coming.
Yeah.
And hell's coming with me.
Where you going with that shotgun?
Johnny Tyler. Mad Cat. That's my favorite movie.
Oh, it's got to be my favorite.
It is.
It's-
It is
it's
the
my
best
favorite
movie
movie.
ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
It's in my top 5 for sure. It's not my favorite, but it's in my
It's
top
So
5.
what is your
number one.
favorite? I've got to hear this.
My favorite movie is We Were Soldiers.
Okay.
Have you ever seen that?
No.
Mel Gibson.
Oh, yes.
It's
I
a
think so.
Vietnam War movie.
Apparently it did.
And it's
Oh,
got
yeah.
Sam Elliott in it also, who's also in Tombstone.
Yeah.
So good, man. Great movie.
Mm.
Anytime.
That's good.
Shawshank Redemption's up there. I love
Yeah.
love that. Watch
Ooh.
it every time it's on.
Yeah.
I love Pulp Fiction. That's a good one.
Oh yeah. That's probably a top 10er. I don't know if it's top 5 material, but I do love some Pulp Fiction. But
So,
Clueless. Have y'all ever seen Clueless?
okay.
I'm clueless.
He says, "Okay." No, I'm kidding.
What
Totally
can I
kidding.
say? I knew who Felicity was.
Gay.
It's like my daughter's turned me on to this one movie, Frozen. Love it.
Oh, okay.
You wouldn't
so,
believe the richness of the story.
So, my wife is beside herself right now because apparently there is, or not Walt Disney, but Disney is remaking Beauty and the Beast.
That's
Oh,
It's a
correct.
live action.
Seen the commercial.
Yes.
Yeah.
So apparently,
I auditioned for Beast.
You gotta go.
no, we're apparently boycotting that.
Because there's a gay thing going on, right?
Yes. There's
What?
like some serious undertone. No, I don't even know if it's like undertones. It's like just straight up in your face, like
It's like 2 llamas in the pasture.
yeah. So what is? Okay. I can accept, but don't run it down my throat, right? And don't
hold
try,
on.
Giggity giggity.
and don't try to tank my kids.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. That's
Well,
really wrong. That's
so
really wrong.
What I agree. Okay, to start off with, I agree. But what happened to just telling the story like the story was written?
Because everything's got to have an agenda now. Everybody's
Mm-hmm.
looking for a way to get their agenda across.
Everything has become a politically loaded angle.
So
So is it just trying
I'm
to appeal to
curious
different
now.
demographics or what?
Who? I mean, I've only seen the old cartoon. So who is gay in this one? Is it the teacup? Because that'd be my first bet.
You don't think the candle guy might be? The teacup's a kid.
No, apparently it's the,
Sorry,
it's the big Gaston dude, the big buff guy.
He's gay?
It's his little buddy.
Oh, yeah. His little hype man.
I don't know. Yeah, right. I don't know what his name is. I don't know what his name is,
Okay.
but it's
I'm at a
his
loss.
little buddy.
Is it the bad guy?
The guy when they're singing in the bar, the guy that's always beefing him up.
Yes.
Nobody eats
yes.
more eggs
Yeah.
than him.
He's
Yeah,
always
Right.
fluffing him up. Huh?
yeah, fluffing him right up.
So apparently this guy like pines for him, you know.
I kind of got that vibe from the cartoon too, so maybe they didn't go too far. He's like, nobody's
Oh,
as
man.
buff as this guy.
Well-
Nobody looks as
But-
good as this
and
guy.
Where do you draw the line between promoter and sexual attraction, right?
Yeah. Maybe we're onto something. Maybe we're breaking ground right here. I don't know. That's weird that they would take that. I mean, I guess in 2017 the wheels are off anyway. Might as well. But
Man, it's
It's crazy.
I don't know why you can't just. Why can't you just tell the story?
just like it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
let the
change it.
story be what
Especially
it is.
if you're gonna remake something. You know,
Yeah.
I'm down with the live action. You know, shoot it with a real camera. I'm down with all that. I think it's great. I think they should redo all the Disney movies that way. But I want you to tell the story like I know the story.
Yeah,
Right.
I think I just
Gay or
think
no
that
gay?
if they were gonna do one with that plot line, they should have made a completely new movie
Sure.
with that, you know,
Yeah.
and not just kind of shoehorned it into the old story.
You're
They do that-
exactly right
They
there.
do that in comic books, so you know,
A lot of gay
none
stuff
y'all
in
pro-
comic books.
Well, you know,
Not surprising.
they're
No, they
really is.
politicize characters.
But they'll change characters to be gay characters, and it's like, you know, it's why couldn't you just made a new character? If you wanted to promote having a gay superhero, you didn't have to change the superhero somebody else
Just
liked.
create.
You know.
And that's something someone else created as well.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. They're, you know,
So like episode or edition 767, you've got
I'm Batman.
768, you've got I'm Batman.
that's Robin.
All I can think about when I hear I'm Batman is the old Snickers commercial where the dude's like playing football and he gets leveled. Y'all remember that?
I don't.
And so he concussion, full blown concussion, and he's over on the bench and he's sitting there and the coach is like checking him. He's like, okay, he's like, what's your name? And he was like, I'm Batman. And he's like, need a break? Have a Snickers.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh man.
What they switched that now? What is it's
It's,
you're not you.
You're not you,
Yeah.
and you're hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. I love me a good Snickers bar.
You know, they should really clip some old pieces out of like The Shining. You're not you when you're hungry.
Oh no. Here's Johnny.
Tearing through a wall.
All work and no Snickers.
Makes Johnny a doughboy.
Yes.
Man, that'd be pretty cool.
So while we're still on the topic of TV, kinda, I wanted to talk a little bit about this show that me and Beck have been watching, and we watch it pretty religiously. It's called Hunted.
Hunted.
And it's kind of a game show, reality show kind of thing.
It's on the Hunting Channel.
Yeah, that would only make sense. I love the smell of
Whatever that is.
freshly
Keep lighting that up.
Dude,
put
it's
out match.
pipe tobacco, man. It
No, the
smells
match.
awesome.
I don't care about that. The
Oh,
match.
okay.
So the show, the whole premise of it is they have 9 couples that sign up for this show.
Oh yeah, I saw this. Bunch of losers.
Bunch of somebody won. I saw. Spoiler alert. I read it on Yahoo News.
Well, that's the point, right?
It's-
You got to have one winner.
well,
Oh, they're all participants
yes,
now.
Yes, it wasn't
A lot of
looking.
Everyone gets a trophy.
Everybody gets a trophy.
Anyway, about this show. So you have 9 couples, and the whole premise is that at a random time, somebody's going to come up to you and tell you you have 1 hour to gather your things and you're on the run. And you're on the run from the NSA, CIA, White House staff, government, Homeland Security, the works. They've got the whole book they can throw at you. And so if you stay gone for 28 days and they can't find you, you win $250,000.
Just
1
1 second.
Just pay me.
Does all these organizations not have anything better to do? Right?
Well, they're all. Yeah.
It's like they're like freelance. I saw one episode.
They're retired. Most of them are retired.
Saddam Hussein, they're just kicking it back,
Yeah.
doing reality TV.
Got Bin Laden. Let's make a TV show. They most of them are retired, like ex-military retired people that worked in intelligence and stuff like that. But anyway, they had 9 couples, and the last time I looked, they had 5 of them caught. There were still 4 running, and they were about 18 or 19 days into this thing. And the ways people get caught, it's absolutely bananas. So there were these 2 guys that had this brilliant theory, and when I saw it, I was like, "It's genius. They're gonna coast this thing out." So the first day, they get tagged and say they got an hour to get gone, and they go to some random person's house. And one, like a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. And they send out an email to all of their close friends and family. They build this bogus email address with an extremely long and complicated password. And so they send an email to all of their dear friends and family, and they include they don't send an email. They send a snail mail to all of their close friends and family with this email address and this password in it, and instructions on how they're going to communicate. And so everybody.
Well, that was just stupid.
Well, everybody has access to this
Fake.
email, and all of their communication, they were just going to type up their email and save it as a draft. So it never gets sent out anywhere. They were going to save it as a draft inside this email. And so everybody just opens this email up, writes their stuff in there, and saves it as a draft.
Until some chucklehead hits reply all.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
That's not. So
basically, you got a Google Sheets document here.
basically, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And it's untraceable. They can't get into that. They don't even know it exists. And so the way they got caught is they put out what they call a mail cover, which is on your snail mail. And anything that comes to, they put it on all their close friends and family. So anything that comes to that address has to get a picture taken of it. And so they found these 11 letters that these guys had sent with the same return address and found them. They didn't catch them then, but they ran them out of that house.
So here's the thing. 28 days, $250,000.
Yep.
Nobody's going to hear from me.
I think
And then-
Chase could do it.
And in 28 days, I'm rich.
If somebody,
Well, I'm not rich, but
you're $250,000 rich.
You're richer
Chico
than
rich.
us.
You're Chico rich.
I mean, 28 days, baby.
Yep.
Cakewalk.
Nothing.
Just, I'm gone.
Case
See
of
ya.
beer and my
Now,
tobacco.
so all of these people were in
I try to do that
Atlanta.
every hunting season anyway. So.
Right.
So all these people were in Atlanta, Georgia.
Right.
You have to stay within 110 miles of Atlanta, Georgia.
Gotcha.
That's cheating. That's a handicap.
Have you ever been to Georgia? There's a lot of good places to disappear in Georgia.
Been to Atlanta.
Even if I got no woods to hide in,
Yeah.
dude, go find you a seedy motel somewhere. 28 days.
Who's going to pay for it though?
Don't leave.
You'd have to preemptively.
So
get
there's a cash stipulation on it.
See.
So the only money you can spend is on a debit card they give you.
Yeah, so I saw that. Okay,
You
so
get $500.
so what you do, you got an hour, right? And you're
Yep.
sitting on go.
Yep.
So you hit every ATM that you can find within 5 minutes. You burn the card, all your clothes, everything that connects you to that.
And now you're the naked guy
And you're
running down the
gone.
street in
Okay.
Atlanta, Georgia.
You're gone. You change clothes. You shave your head. Shave the beard if you got. For $250,000, baby, the beard's gone. Okay.
That's the price.
I
huh?
am a different person. Okay.
Here's the Dalai Lama.
So, are they allowed to trace what's on the debit card?
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
then I
they-
wouldn't spend any of it.
yeah. You have
Well,
five.
but-
You can only pull it $100 at a time.
I
$100
do
at a
like you
time.
said.
But man, you're just hitting them, just boom, 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 boom,
Yep.
boom, and then you're done. You're
Yep.
gone.
You got 1 hour. You got
You got
enough
an
time.
hour, man. You're gone. So,
I'm-
and then I saw like some idiots like went and bought, they went and bought bus tickets,
Mm-hmm. Caught them right away.
and they used the ATM at the train station,
And they were
they
waiting
were
on
like, are they really dumb enough?
So
to
we're just gonna wait at the next stop
exactly.
and get them.
That's
So-
exactly how it went.
So, and I'm
Uh-huh.
sitting there going, this could be a great idea. You guys go buy a ticket
and don't
and
get on.
don't
it.
get on the bus.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you just bought yourself a half a day
Yep.
going the opposite direction.
Yep.
Mm.
You know? I mean, these people are idiots.
There was another couple that they had a buddy that worked at a car dealership, and he just gave him a
Sweet. Pitch them the keys.
gave him a Yukon,
Wow.
sent him on the road. They made it a long time. They ended up getting busted, but they made it a good long run, 24 or 5 days. And let's see. Oh, my favorite one is there was these two girls that were together, and they had been gone a long time, like 17 days all by yourself to a city folk.
Well, there's two of you.
Yep.
Like-
but you're isolated from your normal day-to-day
Oh, yeah, man.
and all your friends, all your family, your job, everything. It's just you two. So anyway, they went out in the woods and they were doing it right. They had no idea where they were. And so they decided that they'd been doing so well they needed to celebrate.
Oh,
and
no.
so they go to the ATM, pull out $100, go to Taco Bell.
Busted.
They get tacos and they just put so
Dude.
they would have been fine if they would have just got tacos and then went back to their hiding spot.
Did they sit down and eat?
They pulled into a mall parking lot under a tree to eat their tacos. And here they come swarming on them.
Man, I've never had any Taco Bell worth losing $28 million.
Nope.
$28 million.
Is that
Quarter
not what
mil.
the
What-
$250,000?
Quarter.
Oh,
I haven't
sorry.
had any tacos.
$28 million. Wow.
I thought we said 28.
Like, good gosh, I would starve myself for that.
Yes, that's right. I'd bury myself in a hole. Say, we can make it, baby. We can make it. I'd just have a straw poking up out of the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm pretty sure that I could probably stay in my house and they wouldn't find me.
I think you might. So that's what I was thinking the whole time this was going on. I was like, you know how easy it would be to just disconnect for 28 days in
Yeah.
Wise County, Texas.
Have a secret bat cave behind the bookcase. You can go.
You could
chill
be
out.
at home and you're gone.
I just find me a hole over in the corner of the attic. You know?
Put some insulation up.
That's
over.
it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep. I don't know. I'd $250,000. Somebody won. Some. I saw that.
By
Well-
default, it's like, yeah, you made it longer than anybody
Yeah,
else. Here's your
26
money.
days. That's close enough. But I thought it was just the things that they have, like the tools they have available
Oh,
to
sure.
find you. License plate readers. I didn't even know that was a thing. They
And traffic cams.
Have you ever gotten a like a red light?
No.
ticket?
These aren't red lights. These are on highways, like highway signs, facing the same direction traffic's going.
Oh, right.
So as you pass, so they pull
well, that's
up.
how they get you on toll roads.
They pull
right?
up this. Well, toll roads are facing towards you.
Oh, okay.
So they pulled this program up, and it's just zinging license plates in. Just zing, zing, zing. Every car that's passing, it's just zing, 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 zing. And it knows it's looking for this certain.
That's why I always keep a couple fake ones around.
You know, that'd be a good way to get away.
That's what I'd do.
Every time
You
you
ever
stop,
seen
change
the-
your license plate
The transporter, he's got them where he can
with the button.
flip
yeah.
them over.
Zzz.
Zoop. They
Yep.
flip inside and out.
What's that? There was a Bruce Willis movie, The Jackal. Y'all have seen The Jackal?
Yes.
Yeah.
He
The
had
Jackal?
he had some kind of paint on his van
Yeah. He just
that you
washed
could
it off.
spray off with a
Yeah.
a pressure
Shoe
washer.
polish.
And then it was like a, you know how like house paint.
Yeah, it like peeled
And,
off.
yeah, it
was
peeled off
wild.
like when you put Elmer's glue on yourself as a kid and then
Yeah,
you
to
go
wrap.
peel it off. That's what it looked like. And then he just changed his license plate.
Of course, he was also staying at a hotel with a power washer in the parking garage too.
Yeah, those aren't super common. So
He like rolls in the parking garage and he's like, "Oh, I got to get over here by the wash bay."
and it just happens to be wide open. Yeah.
Never seen that before.
All right, so we got to give it that it is still a movie. We have to just take that into.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
I feel like I would try and work at like a taqueria or something and get me like a tent and a sleeping bag and go put it off way away from people, and then I could just work at the taqueria for cash under the table, and I got food every day.
Well,
And nobody's
there's this place
doing
where you can
anything
set
to
the
them.
tent over there off of 920.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
you can have all the friends you want. You can create a new network.
I'm just thinking this. It'd be like taking candy from a baby, man. That was just so easy. Just pay me.
Yep.
So
Save yourself the
let's
time. and
apply
trouble.
Chase for the show
You should.
for the next season. That'd be
Man.
cool.
And dude, if they let us do it here, like if I got to go to Atlanta, okay.
Where you don't have your network and knowledge of the area.
Man,
Right.
if they do
That's
it
very
here,
important.
If they do a hunted
write me a
Dallas,
check.
I'll let you stay in my storm cellar. I'll go
So,
drop off a little
110
discreet
miles.
pizza.
110 miles from Dallas. I mean, that's
Oh
could be
yeah,
out here,
we're
yeah.
we're golden.
yeah. Yeah, I think any of us could be gone for 28.
Sure.
110 miles from Dallas.
Sure.
I think they.
We're so used to seclusion and, you know,
Well, and I wouldn't even.
eating that squirrel meat.
I wouldn't even be calling. You know, that's where you get caught. Don't call anybody. Don't email anybody. Don't text anybody.
Don't
He
buy
already
anything.
doesn't do that. Have you seen his Facebook? It's just a plane,
Yeah.
no profile picture. They're like,
This is the
can't
most
be him."
contact he has with the outside world anyway. If we shut the podcast down, Chase could be gone for 28 days and nobody would know.
The internet could crash for a month, and this guy wouldn't even have a clue.
Old Zuckerberg would have to call him and be like, dude, close your account so we can shut Facebook down,
Well,
please.
I'm a pretty private person,
I
and I
understand.
can tell y'all this podcast goes against everything that I'm about.
Welcome to the show, Chase. Welcome to the show. If you don't think about it as a podcast and just think about it as come hang out with some dudes and just
Yeah, right.
Just-
that's kind of the way I look at it.
that's kind of how that's how the whole thing began. It started sitting around the table like, man, we should record some of this.
You know, I went back and listened to all of them, so I kind of get a feel for everything that was going on.
Good luck.
And I have. Does anybody else feel like I'm supposed to see Bob Vila walking out holding a tool belt?
What?
do you have? Can you play the music right now?
I can't. Oh, the intro music. Oh yeah.
Hey, I picked that. intro
Hey,
music.
I said it was like this old house, man.
I mean, I'm waiting on Bob Vila, but I mean, I'm like, where's the dude at?
Howdy, folks. Today we're gonna tear out this old bathtub.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, I don't get that feeling. I think the intro music's cool. I think it.
I didn't say
some
it wasn't
intro
cool.
music.
I just said,
Bob Vila wasn't. Did you ever watch the show that Bob Vila was?
Oh,
There's
yeah,
nothing
sure.
cool
Tim-
about it.
Tim the Tool Man.
He made he had another reality show here,
Bob
or
Vila.
not reality
Bob
show,
Ross.
sitcom called Last Man Standing.
Oh, you're talking about Tim Allen.
Tim Allen.
I thought
Tool
you were
Man.
talking about Bob Vila.
I don't know where Bob Vila fell off the face. And he's doing bath salts.
He
in
was the
Cambodia.
host
I don't
for
know.
he was the host for This Old House,
Shot himself
Bob
with
Vila?
a
which was an
nail
old
gun.
remodeling show on NPR,
Right.
and
That used the same theme music as the podcast.
Nice.
and
That's how I'm going to start him from now on. Today we're going to hang his chandelier.
The
But
last
first-
thing I remember hearing about him was that he was being sued by a bunch of people that bought houses.
Shoddy carpentry work.
Speaking of house,
We got mold, Bob.
house shows. A few years ago, it's been a few years, so it's probably old news, but Vanilla Ice had his own TV show where he bought, flipped, and remodeled houses.
I believe he still does.
Yes.
And I'm sitting to myself wondering, who is the demographic for this show? Because old people
Dun, dun,
don't
dun,
like
dun, dun,
Vanilla
dun.
Ice. Old people don't like him. They're like, who is this guy? Pull up your pants, kid. And then,
Tattoos and his hat flipped up in the front.
and then young people, They have no interest in your mortgage, your home. They're just like, where's the beer, man?
It's a niche market. Okay, it is. It's a niche market.
If it's still on the air, I'd be very surprised.
It is. It actually
Wow.
is.
So the people that flip houses don't care who. So he does very little of the actual work. He's just kind of the
I'm
guy.
thinking the dude's probably a lot smarter than anybody's giving him credit.
Well,
I'm sure he
to
is,
be
but-
fair, he did put out Ice Ice Baby back in the 90s. Okay,
Yeah, but
so
he got sued for it.
he deserves a little. Well, he should have, because Under Pressure had that music bed already
Boom, boom,
locked
boom,
in.
boom.
Pressure. Yeah. I never know which song's coming on until I hear the pressure or the stop.
Clap right in.
Well, that actually came along with a host of sampling lawsuits that spanned from the late 80s to mid 90s.
Yeah. Vanilla Ice. Probably not who I would call. If I need some tile work done, I'd be like, you know who's good at this?
Jose.
What's that guy? You know, the guy that did the weird dance with the Ninja Turtles. What's his name? Oh yeah, Vanilla Ice. Yeah,
Mhm,
I
that's
heard.
it.
I heard he does tile now.
I don't think he actually does any of the work. He just like kind of hangs out.
He's,
and
Sure.
talks.
he's
He's
the
the
host
money
of the
man.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He puts it, buys the house, and pays people to do it. But still,
I wonder how stupid rich he got off of that one song. Did he have another song?
Apparently, very stupid rich.
Yeah.
I mean,
Stupid for sure. Rich
if
probably.
he had another one, I didn't know.
Well,
about.
he made more money at that time than you would have a number of years later because that was still CD, vinyl.
Oh yeah,
cassette.
where he was
Yeah.
getting $15 a pop for the
Mhm.
and everybody listened to the
You
rest of the
couldn't
album.
steal it online back then.
Everybody was listening to the
Exactly.
rest of the album, going, "Dude, what is this?"
Where you realize you got robbed. There was only one good song on it.
And
This sucks.
as it turned out, he was the only one stealing anything.
And he's just sitting home laughing. They bought the whole CD, Mom. They bought the whole CD. That's funny. No, I don't know that. I mean, I guess it's working out for him.
Thinking that, how hard would it have been just to hire a bass player to play a bass line?
Just change one note, man.
Yeah.
It's like it's like a patent. You change one thing and it's a completely
it's
different
okay.
thing.
Can you imagine
Are
him
you
with
kidding
his?
me? That was a C, not a D.
Can you imagine him with his slicked back Vanilla Ice and his parachute pants, kicking the door open for his producer and being like, "Bro, come on, one
he
note.
says, "Stop."
You couldn't change
Clever.
one note. Cook you up like a pound of bacon." That's funny. Yeah, Vanilla Ice. He's still out doing. There was somebody else that
Remodeling
was like a reality show guy that got into flipping houses. I can't remember what his name was. Maybe, yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Y'all know anybody that flips houses that used to have some kind of music career?
No.
Did
Just
y'all know-
Vanilla Ice is all I know.
Did y'all know he was born in Dallas?
He was
Vanilla
a used
Ice?
car salesman.
Wow.
Get
at the
out of
time.
here.
Yes.
Vanilla. What's his real name? I feel like I knew that. Robbie
Robert Matthew Van Winkle.
Van Winkle.
Van
That's it.
Winkle.
Robert Van Winkle. That's it.
Yeah, I like Vanilla
Vanilla
Ice
Ice.
better, too.
I don't
That's-
know, man. I like
Robert Van Winkle opens up a lot of doors, though. I feel like you can use that name for a lot of things. Used car selling being one of those.
house
Good credit,
flipper.
bad credit, no credit. Who cares? Come on down.
Come on down to Van Winkle Hyundai.
We got this new hot Volkswagen Rabbit for you to buy.
Comes with a free llama on Saturday.
Do not miss this sale.
Rob Van Winkle. That's right.
Apparently, the dude made a lot more music than anybody knew.
Yeah. 14 more songs for that album.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 albums.
9 albums.
Most recent one in 2011.
Stop.
Wisdom, tenacity, and
Elaborate.
focus.
What was it? One more time.
Wisdom, tenacity, and focus.
That's the name of the album.
WTF.
That's. We share that thought.
How about it?
Well, I'm going to tag my next email with that.
Yeah, it's not what you think.
It's wisdom, tenacity, focus.
Yes, sir.
That's interesting.
Yes, sir.
I'm
I'm telling you, the guy's smarter than we think.
hey, anybody that's smart enough to make So I give anybody credit that's smart enough to make money regardless what it's doing. So we all sit here and laugh about Ice Ice Baby.
Would you like to know what he's worth?
Yes.
Hold on. Let's all
Oh,
take
you want to take a guess?
Let's
like
all take
Price
a
is
shot
Right?
at it. Colt, go ahead.
Ooh. I'm going to say.
It's not as much as Trump.
Okay. Well, that's
This
a good
this
lead
dude
then.
can't eat ketchup on a well done
I'm going to
steak.
say he's worth 22 mil.
Kyle.
22 mil and 1 penny. I'm kidding.
Every time.
$1.
You're the guy who likes on that
$1.
I bet he's
Is this like the Price is Right rules?
105,
Closest win.
105 million.
Whoa.
Woo,
He
really?
got sued, man.
Gary?
Well, I'm going to tweak it down and say $5 million.
So it goes to the closest.
I know people in Wise County worth more than 5 mil.
Colt wins.
Colt wins.
Woo.
What'd you
What
say,
is it?
20?
18 million
Hey.
18 million.
I won a
18
new
million.
llama. Woo.
for one song.
Well, he spent a lot of money. He would be worth 105 if he didn't spend money making those other 8 albums.
We're flipping them houses.
Those other 8, he sold 13 copies combined of those other 8 albums.
I know he had to have at least made 5 from Dancing with the Ninja Turtles in that movie.
Well, you know, that's probably right. Some of the folks with the TV shows got ridiculous amounts of money per episode.
So, for some reason, 18 million doesn't sound like that much in my mind.
We were just talking about disappearing for 28 days for $250,000.
Yeah,
what?
but
You know what I would do for 18?
He's changed his perspective.
I'd
though.
make you disappear. $18 million. I don't know. I guess maybe just because we've been on this Trump train for so long, and they're like, he's worth,
Well, what's-
$5.5 billion.
what's
$7
crazy
billion.
is in the
$7 billion with
grand
a B.
scheme of things, he's nothing.
So Bill Gates,
50.
$49.7 billion.
And so go to Saudi Arabia and look up some dude over there that owns about 1 million acres of oil wells.
Some chic,
yeah,
Oh, yeah. Over in Dubai
and
stuff,
see
they
what
got
that
lots of
dude's
money.
worth.
$49.7 billion. Let's just Bill Gates. I mean,
Billion with a B.
billion with a B.
Yeah, that's a.
Microsoft ain't nothing soft
So,
about it.
so to
son.
put that into a little bit of perspective, for every 1,000 millions is 1 billion.
Yes. Vanilla Ice has 18. Maybe that's where the rationale doesn't come in.
Vanilla Ice was cooking his steak.
Now, granted,
If
you
I
know-
was Trump, I'd be Vanilla Ice. Come make me a steak,
cook me
and
a
I want
steak.
it well done.
can you imagine the conversation between Bill Gates and Donald Trump? He's like, yeah, you're a billionaire, but come on.
Exactly.
I flip out.
Well, you know, here's the interesting thing, though. Both of those guys did it within their own lifetime.
I didn't think about that.
No hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
Right.
I've got about $86 in the bank. So I'm on my way, suckers.
A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Oh, brilliant from Makim Wasabi.
All right.
Take that.
Wisdom, tenacity, and focus.
Put
There we go.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Chase. That's funny. Yeah, I can just imagine Bill Gates and Donald Trump sitting in the same room for whatever reason. And this goes back to my ridiculous brain. But Donald-
You're making meaning out of
yeah,
this
oh, I
stuff
put them
again.
together. The couch is red velvet. They're standing in front of it, both with a small glass of some kind of liquor in it. And Donald Trump's talking about his billions and his companies. Bill Gates goes, "Yeah, I mean,
That's
you're a
cute.
billionaire. That's worth something, but come on, let's not act like we're on the same playing field."
I mean, but let's get real. Neither one of those guys can actually go get all that money. I mean, like, we can go down to the bank and say, I want to close my account. Give it to me in cash.
They won't do it.
No.
I've already tried that before.
I mean, you go,
I'm going to close Bill Gates' account. I'm his.
so you show
gardener.
up. You show up at the mint, and I'll be like, "I'll take that in the largest bills that you've got, please." put it in that dump truck out back.
There'll be 7
And
more
I'm-
coming.
I'm thinking a lot of that worth is in their shares because they're
Sure.
in
yeah.
corporations. So that's
Yeah.
it's
They're not.
probably a
They're
rough
not
estimate.
cashing out.
No.
Yeah. So,
It's
what is,
an illusion.
so what does Bill Gates cash out for?
I don't know. You'd have to ask Bill Gates again.
I don't think there's.
Well,
there's
let's
not
put
enough.
that in perspective.
Him and-
Let's put that in perspective. Only 3% of the money in the United States is cash. The rest of it's electronic.
Okay.
It's
Like I
just fake
said,
money.
it's an illusion.
Monopoly money.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, it's
Digital
a
money.
strange
That makes,
thing. It's
that makes
really
you feel good, doesn't it?
it's really
No.
just an idea,
even my-
concept. It's not a real tangible thing.
even my digital money's not that impressive.
Do you have Bitcoin?
I have PayPal, and it says the same
Oh.
thing my savings account does. It's 0.
I thought it had $86.
No, that's my
That's the
checking
checking.
account. Yeah. That's the one that's hot right now. Yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine. I can't imagine having that Scrooge McDuck's what comes into my mind. Like if I'd want it all in nickels, and I just want to swim in it.
Dude, if you dove into a pile of nickels, you would just break your neck because that ain't gonna give.
Hey, look, if my
I think-
tombstone has to say dove into $49.7 billion worth of nickels and broke his neck, I'm down.
Did you know that you
I'm
ever
buying
seen
me a little island called the Bikini.
Bikini Atoll. Yeah.
the Atoll?
And I'm going to practice some of these guns.
This is mine.
Pew! I have a different plan for Bikini Atoll, but we'll talk about that at a different time. I think that name's being wasted.
The population machine.
Well, like I do not disagree that it is a disgusting and morally wrong thought. You also can't disagree
Hilarious.
that it has that it has some minute sense of validity to it.
So I've got a friend that has a pretty good. He's got a pretty good idea actually. So
I'm getting from that you're saying my idea's crap.
no.
Oh, okay.
No,
Like, no, I have a friend that has a good idea.
this is a way.
It's not you. Just to be clear.
He's another friend. You don't know him. He goes to another school.
This is a little more humane. So he says so you put certain criteria in place where after they've had X amount of children and still can't pass a drug test or get off welfare or so on and so forth, you start sterilizing them.
Sure. I had
That's-
a theory about this where how far you get in your education will determine how many kids you have.
There you go.
So if you graduate from high school, you can have 1 kid. If you get a bachelor's, you can have 2. If you get a master's, you can have 3. And
Has anybody seen that movie Idiocracy?
Oh yeah,
oh,
I saw it. I saw it today.
Oh yeah, I see that.
So I feel like we're getting really close to that.
We're not. Far
We're
off.
dangerously close. Yeah.
And they showed kind of like what Colt was saying. You know, they show these really smart people.
Only having 1 kid, and then the dumb people having 8 kids.
Yeah.
And eventually, you get outbred.
So breeding in dumb people. So my favorite scene in that is the little like drive-through car wash doctor hospital thing. He's like, this one goes in your mouth, this one goes in your ears, this one goes in your butt.
And then he gets them mixed
Yeah,
up.
he's like, oh no,
wait a minute.
This one goes in your butt. This one goes in your mouth.
And he's already got 1 in his mouth and 1 in his ear,
And
so he's like,
He's scrambling them all up. He's trying to chase them. He's
they're
like,
all rubbing together.
That's my favorite scene every time.
I like money.
You broke my house while I was watching Out My Balls.
My favorite scene's where he's in the jail, and they're like, "Are you supposed to be going into jail?" He's like, "Nah, I'm getting out today. I already got sat on and everything." He's like, "Oh, you dumbass! The line to get out's over there. Everybody, look at this dumbass."
Gary,
Get
have you
outta
seen
here.
Idiocracy? Oh, you've got to watch Idiocracy.
It'll make you laugh, but after you watch it, you're like, "Okay, this is a little too real."
You
Your
laugh,
heart's
but
gonna
so
sink.
close.
You kind of get sad. You're just like, oh.
And they elect Booker T as the president.
Yes, that's so awesome.
And he has this. He has a 50-man electric guitar band that follows him around and plays the same 3 power chords.
President
love it.
Macho Camacho.
Yeah.
Sounds very painful to watch.
It's
No.
it's so great.
And Starbucks is not Starbucks anymore.
Ooh, it is.
This is
Nice.
no time.
Starbucks is
No
a
time
brothel.
for him.
So the concept is the theory is the smartest man on earth in this time was once just an average, like
Average Joe.
Average,
lazy, super average, like the most average of average people you can imagine. And he gets frozen or
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah,
cryogenically frozen, and
People
he-
forget about him.
they leave him there. Yeah, him and they froze this prostitute too. But they come back. What was it, 2150 or 21 something?
It's-
I don't
yeah,
know.
it was
it
a
was
long
like
time.
he was supposed to be in there for a year, and he came back like 500 or 600 years later or something. And
And the whole world's gone to crap.
Buck Rogers.
people
kinda
don't
deal.
drink water. Everybody just drinks Gatorade. They try and water their plants with Gatorade.
It's got electrolytes.
It's got what
It's got
plants
what
crave.
plants crave.
I'm getting it on Netflix.
Yeah, you got to
You can
watch
watch
it.
it.
So good. Y'all ready to wrap this up?
Yeah.
We're here
Yeah, I
at
got to
10 after 10 on a Thursday night, and we're gonna call it an evening. So we appreciate all you guys listening once again. Oh, hey, speaking of, before we shut this thing down, we had an email come in from a listener.
Oh,
Oh,
Where
awesome.
was-
feedback.
First
where-
email.
do we know where they're from?
Yeah, I went to high school with him.
Oh, so they're from here.
His name is Drew Ward. He is a car salesman at
I went to school with him too.
James Woods. # James Woods.
Okay.
So shout out to Drew Ward. If you need a shiny new car, go give Drew a call. But he sent in some. He listened to the llama story last week, and he sent in some stories of his own. Let's see. Oh, and one of them's is similar to the saga of the lost Florida puppy,
Okay.
and so
The
he
Lost
So this
Llama.
guy's lived.
he just
He knows all about MoneyGram and rape shacks and roping llamas.
He's got more experience than all of us combined.
So I'm not going to read all this word for word, but he was trying to get into the cattle business, and so he was going to buy some cows online.
Oh no.
And
Do
so-
not use MoneyGram.
So the first line of this is, so I decided with all of my free time I'd like to become a cattle farmer. I don't feel like any story ever starts out well that way.
No.
You're just sitting on the couch watching TV and you're like, I think I'm gonna buy some
Here I
cows.
go.
You know what I've always wanted to
Hold
do?
my beer and watch this.
So he started looking online for Jersey heifers and came across an ad that said a dairy.
So that's a dairy cow.
yeah, a dairy, and
Okay, so
Winter-
he's starting a dairy, or he's
I
like
guess he's fixing to start pumping
we're,
some
we're
milk.
milking.
So he had this guy in Winters, Texas, had 150 Jersey heifers for sale
Jeez,
for $200 to $250 each.
that sounds awful cheap.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much cows cost. I've never
I
bought
think
any
dairy
cows.
cow more than that.
What does a llama run?
Free, apparently.
He can't give them away.
Sounds like the price is right to me then.
Well, you can get calves fairly cheap, but the mortality rate's high. So whether you actually wind up with a cow or not,
Yeah.
is statistically based on the breed and their mortality rate,
And
plus
if you're
what
there
kind of
to grab
facilities that you
Pull
have,
them out.
what kind of facilities you have to take care of them.
Right. I'm sure disease runs rampant in there if you can't take care of them.
Yes.
So anyway, he gets a little skeptical about this too good to be true internet deal. And so he sends an email to him, tell him he's very interested and wanted more details. And so he copied and pasted the exact response from this guy into this email. So shout out, Drew. Nice work. The response said from this guy, I'm not going to give this guy's name out over the podcast. Not like Jerry Nickler would ever be listening, but
It just rhymes with.
I'm not going to say his name, but his initials are Jerry Nickler from Winters, Texas. So it says, thanks for your
The
interest.
shyster.
Thanks for your interest in our Jersey heifer calves. Below you'll find the details on our herd. Number for sale 150. Age 2 to 9 months. Frame medium. Vaccinations, so on and so forth. Guaranteed open yes. Price per head $200 to $250. He'll sell part or all of them. great quality heifers with a splash of color. These flashy-looking ladies are sure to make anybody happy.
Okay, so if they're jerseys and they got a splash of colors, then they ain't full-blood jerseys.
Well, it sounds like he's advertising for a strip club. Up to date on all shots. Worm twice with something. We also have attached this email a video of them so you can see how cute they look.
Okay. That's how I like to buy my
So
cattle.
there's cute. There's some red flags immediately. All right. These lovely ladies and their splash of color will make anybody happy. And so he said it seemed a little strange that Jerry Nickler went by. Oh, the email signed, regards, Fred. Okay, keep in mind, Jerry Nickler is the guy he's trying to buy these from. Regards, Fred. He said it seems a little strange that Jerry Nickler went by Fred, but I can overlook that.
Because Robbie goes by Vanilla Ice. We'll just go with it.
Because Robert Van Winkle is now known as Vanilla Ice for as long as I've been alive.
Fred's just a stage name.
Yeah.
Dropped 9 albums through the 90s. So the cows in the video seem legit. He has the same disclaimer I do. I don't know what cows are supposed to look like in a video. He said, hell, they look like cows to me. So he said he asked him how much they weigh because he lives a long ways away and sees what kind of trailer he needs to bring. And old Jerry Fred said, don't worry, we'll deliver them. And Drew was like, great, that sounds even better.
Easy enough.
And so he asked him how many cows he had to have, how many cows he had to buy in order for Jerry Fred to deliver them. And he said 15. He said, great, 15 it is. And he said, after I did this, I immediately had an uneasy feeling.
That's when you know you screwed up.
And you can't just accidentally buy 15 cows and just, it's not like Amazon where you just leave the package on the door. You have 15 cows now.
It's not like Prime where you send it back for free.
Yeah. So he said he wanted to know, he said, give me a call so we can finish this deal. He said, I don't ever do a deal with anybody without knowing who I'm dealing with. So he got a call in 5 minutes from an Indian guy named Seth.
What happened to F to the R to the E to the D?
So we've had Jerry, we've had Fred, now we've had Seth. All 4-letter names, all very common.
Seth.
So he said, I immediately tell him I want to talk to the owner and manager of the farm. He said that he is the owner and manager of the farm. And if I
want to buy cow.
And he said, if I want to buy any heifers, he said, I'm spelling it how he pronounced it.
Heifers.
I need to go through him. I knew immediately what was going on, but the interest of a great deal, I thought that might go through. I start questioning. I told him I want 15 heifers, free delivery. Would he like cash, check, or money order? He said that he just needed a $600 deposit. Sound familiar
That's
to anybody
all
else?
he needs.
$600 went to Florida for a puppy.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations, you funded terrorism.
He said, I don't do business like that. Oh, he said, yeah, send a $600 deposit and he'll get the cows on the way. He said, I don't do business like that. When the cows get here, I'll have a cash money order or a check waiting. He told me that it was the only way he did business. Jerry Fred Seth said that. He said, I said, no problem. I'll come down tomorrow and handpick the cows I want. And he said, well, it's a long ways to Minnesota. Y'all remember where this story originated?
Yeah, somewhere in Texas.
Winters, Texas.
Yeah.
Minnesota, eh? And
so Drew's reply was, I'm sure it is a long way to Minnesota, but I don't know what that has to do with anything. He said, so I guess Winters is by Abilene. He said, we closed the Abilene dairy down. He said, all right, thanks for nothing. I'm not losing $600 and hung up. He said he sent me multiple pictures of old cow papers that didn't make sense, trying to prove he had heifers for sale.
So these are like registered dairy cattle, man.
I put his phone number into Google and found out he had about 500 ads for all different kind of livestock. Moral of the story, if a deal looks too good to be true, it is.
Ooh.
Wow, I think he's taking a shot at you, Kyle.
Drew, I'm sorry I even read your story. I should have read that last line before we got here.
So I'm just going to tell us out there. Drew, you work at James Wood. I know there's like 20 people over there that peddle with
dealing
cattle.
Cows.
Yeah. Go talk to James himself.
That's what you can say, James included.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you can get hooked up right over there.
If you need a quality vehicle, go give James Woods a call. Talk to Drew. He'll get you hooked up.
Yep.
So that's one of Drew's stories. We really appreciate him sending that email in, and I just want to prove to everybody, if you email us, we will talk about whatever you say.
Oh yeah.
We have no shame, and we have
In case that wasn't apparent.
and we have no designed topics, and so anything that we can have laid in stone, email it in. If anything crazy happens to you, with you,
Yeah.
around you, about you, let us know about it. We'd
I'm
love
just
to.
impressed that somebody actually sitting through these things.
We would love to. Hey, man, our last one,
Almost 300 each time.
we
yeah.
were
Wow.
we were pushing 350 last time I looked
Whoa.
on the last one, and so we're
Getting
fixing to
into big
have
ones.
Trojan's going to call us for some advertising, right? Because I think that's where it all starts. It's either Trojans or toothpaste. I'm down with either.
Whatever appeals the most to your demographic.
Bud Light, Trojans, toothpaste.
Laundry soap.
Oh, laundry.
We have any words of wisdom to part?
We do, and perhaps it's good on this story of millionaires and being ripped off and all that. A wise man once said, "You can't have $1 million dream with minimum wage work ethic.
Come on.
So
I like that.
you got to work for it.
Gotta work it,
Gotta earn
whether
it.
it's on the stage." Or at James Woods, or in Kyle's garage. You gotta work it.
All right, folks. We're signing off once again. Send all your emails to awmospodcast@gmail.com. And we'd love to hear from you. Thank all you guys for checking us out. We appreciate it. Thanks for listening. Make sure to like this stuff, share it with your friends, and we'll holler at you guys next week.
Stay
Always
classy.
a good time, guys.
Stay classy, Wise County.
Adios.